is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k dirtbags. We got another battle report for you today. We played our boy Nolan. This is actually a couple weeks ago, so I'm trying to make a video on it. It was a really cool list that he played. He's actually been enjoying Thousand Suns a lot lately, and they're actually really good on the tabletop in 10th edition. So you don't see them a lot. I'm not sure why. They are a very technical type army to play. It's not just run up and beat face like our Curse Cultist unit is, but it's very finesse. It kind of reminds me of Grey Knights. Obviously, Thousand Sons and Grey Knights are pretty similar. They're just better. So we got our big boy Magnus today. So Magnus going on the tabletop with a bunch of Flamer infantry and a couple rhinos. We'll go over the list. But if you guys are new to the channel, thanks for clicking on the video. If you guys are playing Thousand Sons or Chaos Space Marines, we play a lot of different events on, or armies on this channel. So if you guys like 40k as a whole, definitely hit subscribe and like, so that way these videos pop up for you guys a lot more. We just hit 7,000 subscribers, already up to 7,150, which is insane. We're gonna get 10k hopefully in the next month and a half. With the pace that we are doing these videos, that it's gonna happen. I can't wait. And once it does, we're just going to blow up even more for the Dirtbag Nation. A lot more stuff to come, merch, all that stuff. We're going to LVO this year, so if you guys are at LVO, definitely come up and say hi. We have some limited edition Dirtbag dice to give out if you come up and say, hey, I'm a Dirtbag. And if you guys want to support us over at Patreon, thank you so much for all the Patreons. You guys, I wouldn't be doing this without you. You guys are keeping the food on the table and the upgrades to the account. So really appreciate you guys. If you guys are interested in getting in the competitive scene, head over to Patreon. It gives over a lot of stuff. If you guys want to get in the 40k and get better in 10th edition, that's what the Patreon Dirtbag competitive channel is for. And all these videos come up first on patreon.com. We do live streaming on Patreon, so you guys could see that solely on Patreon. Also, the tactical videos are going to have part 2s solely on patreon.com, so a lot is going to be coming in 2024 for the patrons of the Dirtbag Nation. So let's get into the video. We'll go over the list first, picture by picture tactic, shorter battle report, just going over what we did good, what we could have improved on, so that way you guys can see this on the tabletop and kind of see what you should be focusing on. That's what these battle reports are for, so you guys don't have to sit here for 3 hours watching a game and trying to not, you know, die from watching paint dry. So all right, so this is the list for Nolan. Over here, let me know if you like this kind of setup format. We got the missions per round, so you guys can see like what we were focused on in each round. And then this is the army. So we got Magnus with Ahriman on the disc. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters in this army. All these guys are just the flamers. Like there's flamers, big cannons. The character has the hand flamer. There's a couple dudes in here that have the -2 to your speed, which actually comes up a lot in this matchup. Obviously, we got a big boy Magnus, and then we got 2 rhinos, which is, you know, still really good in 10th edition. Every unit has a now you guys know Thousand Suns more than I do, but they are all really cool looking Thousand Suns models. All of them have special stuff. I'll get the list posted down below. If you don't see it, leave it in the comments so that way I can post it for you guys. And the only thing he changed about this list we'll go over at the end, but it's pretty darn good list into Curse Cultists. Then obviously for Chaos, this is the triple Curse Cultist list. This is the one we're bringing to LVO. We got Abaddon, 3 units of 3 Nurglings, a unit of Bikes, 3 units of Curse Cultists. 1 green is the Nurgle, the other 2 are Curse Cult, Undivided. 2 units of Nurgle regular Cultists, Seekers, which are just the Seeker tech for Chaos Space Marines, Shalaxi, 2 Forge Fiends, 1 Undivided, 1 Nurgle, and 5 Legionnaires, which are just with Abaddon. So simple list. Created it right when 10th edition came out and have been running it ever since. This is the setup. We're playing Scorched Earth. So if you burn one of these objectives at the next command phase, it goes away and then you get points. It is, I believe, hold 5 points up to 10. Yeah, so pretty basic. Dawn of War deployment. This is the setup. So this is the Games Workshop layout. Basically a kill pit in the center. This is the store terrain. We are upgrading actually have a sponsor coming up. So we actually sent out some stuff over from Texas. If we like the terrain, we'll give them some shout outs and we'll become a partnership, sponsorship with them. So I'm super excited about that. They got clear plexiglass, which is we're going to be hopefully putting in all of our videos, plus the terrain on top, which is going to be exactly like the Games Workshop layout in all the pictures. All these greens are ruins. They are 2 inches, so you'll be able to walk over them if you're a vehicle, but they do block line of sight. They count as ruins. And then everything else is basically 4 inches, true line of sight. Bottom floor is blocking. So if you're interested in the objective markers, there's a link below. You guys can customize any of the stickers that we have on the channel. You guys can put those on any of the objective markers and change the color of the 40k dirtbags as well. So we did stream this, so I think this is streamed live in one of the games if you guys want to watch it. How our deployment is, we have Nurglings, Seekers that can move up 9 inches or back 9 inches. We have the green guys out front because they have the Nurgle strat, so you can't shoot them outside of 12. Red Curse Cultists, regular Cultists, Bikes, Forge Fiend, which is Nurgle, and Abaddon just ready to run forward. He basically deployed pretty aggressively because his guys can't be shot outside 12 inches. They have lone op. It's either 18 or 12, but it's still really good lone op for them. It's like having the Space Marine Phobos librarians. Magnus right dead center. Just can't be shot by the Forge Fiend, so he's fine. Rhino, guys inside, and the solo character dude somewhere who can like teleport and get secondaries. So he goes first. He actually gets. So he gets tempting target turn 1 behind enemy line. So obviously behind enemy line's pretty hard to get, especially with Dawn of War, not having, teleport assault or anything like that. So he actually sacrifices his Rhino to get tempting target. I had to pick between this one, and this one. Now I have most of my army near this objective. So if I pick this objective, he can literally just throw Magnus out or something out here or a unit to hold down the center. But I want this red unit and Abaddon to get on this objective as soon as possible. So if he gives me a Rhino or somebody to get a target, then tempting target basically is where you want your army, the opponent, to go, or at least throw a unit on that objective. So you can actually use this very defensively. I picked this left target, so that way he can run his Rhino out, and I potentially could have a unit to move up and then charge on the Rhino to get a huge kind of swing with the charging. So that's kind of why we picked that one. He did get it. He threw his Rhino up there and got that. Magnus and everybody else kind of scooted up to set up for turn 2. So this is the end of that turn. Rhino was here. Everything else kind of moved up cautiously behind here so he doesn't give me slingshot targets for my advanced and charge cultists. Magnus over here just waiting to sling some shots over to these guys. He's going this way, I'm going this way. We're kind of rotating around each other. The other Rhino got out his units over onto this objective. The solo guy is waiting to teleport if needed. These guys backed up so that way I can't get within range of them. I can't shoot them just because I can't shoot outside 12. Can't shoot them, I believe. Can't shoot them. Can't shoot them. So, or these guys. There's a lot of guys that I can't shoot outside 12 inches. For our turn, we made this sticky because of the cultists down here. The Seekers got blown up by Magnus. His wing is super far sideways. So they did pregame behind this wall over here, but since Magnus moves so fucking far, plus 2 inches from movement, he moves up here. Wing then sees a line of sight to the Seekers. Seekers then die. So Seekers got blown up turn 1. Didn't really do anything this game. Turn 1, we got Aerial Denial, which was pretty easy with the Nurglings. They were already set up there and he didn't kill him turn 1. And then we had Attempting Targets. So we also had Attempting Target. He obviously picked this one over here because most of his army was over there. There's no way I'm getting over there. So he actually was able to keep Attempting Target. So we got 5. He got 5 as well. So we're tied. Turn 2, he held his back, or he doesn't get one for the backfield objective. So he held this one in the center, which is 5 points. You have to basically burn one of these to essentially max out for primary in this mission. It's pretty hard for primary. He gets 5 points for holding this one. He gets Overwhelming Force and no prisoners. So he has to kill people on the objective. So we had the Nurgle, or this guy, on the objective, and these guys on the objective. It's going to be pretty hard for him to wipe out an entire squad that has a 4-up invuln save from Abaddon. Abaddon, I think, was still behind this wall right here. just waiting to get launched out. So he has to basically focus down a whole squad to get overwhelming force. These guys were still not on the objective, so can't kill them. And no prisoners. So he decides to just kill the Nurglings to get an easy 2-point no prisoners. And then he missed out on overwhelming force because he couldn't finish off the unit. So by the end of his turn 2, we rapid ingressed our yellow unit over in this corner right here for 1 CP. That's why I love going second, especially with the Cursed Cultist, because you can actually rapid ingress wherever you need the unit pretty early on in the game, turn 2, top turn 2. So once he's done his movement, you ask that super famous question, are you done your movement phase? They shit a little bit, and then you bring on your full 20-man blob of a Cursed Cultist where they don't want it the most, which over here is this corner, because he can't shoot me with Magnus, he can't shoot me with really anybody else over here, and then next turn they can advance and charge to get on the objective to steal the right side of the board. So he actually teleported one of his units over to here and kind of blocked out this pathway over here, so I couldn't bring my Cursed Cultist in over here, so they had to come in over here. So he deep struck one of his 5 guys to line them up over here, which we actually used that to our advantage. So our Cursed Cultists that came in over here advanced, charged, and charged these guys, which then slungshot more over here onto this objective. And then that unit that was over here, basically I think they spent CP to move back because I ended within a certain range of them, something like that, where he was able to double move to get away from my Cursed Cultists, so I couldn't get to them. Forge Fiend Undivided walked in over here to get line of sight to this unit, and then the Nurglings kind of just ran behind this building for investigate signals. So they're setting up in case I get it for investigate signals, so that way they can do it. Bikes stayed back here for the same thing, investigate signals, just waiting. I don't need them right now, but they're within 6 inches of the board edge. They can come off if needed, because that's the special thing about bikes. The cultists are just kind of blocking out over here. They're making as many of these as sticky as possible, so we advanced them up to get on this objective to try and make it sticky. This one's already sticky from turn 1. Cultists being on there, but again, they're moving up following the green squad. We committed this turn, if you couldn't tell, but this little marker right here is super annoying. He actually made it -1 to advances, -1 to charges. So I basically advance, and then it's either half the movement, I think it's half the movement for the advancing, and then -2 to charges. So basically you're advancing almost nowhere, and then you're charging at -2. So they're not really going to get super far. So they kind of just stayed right there. The red squad, though, were able to kind of advance up and then charge the squad that was on this little green terrain. There was a little squad there that they were able to get up, advance, and charge. I had Storm Hostile Objective, which I really was trying to steal this from them, but I couldn't get enough guys onto the objective because of how he had his guys placed on this ruin. So I wasn't able to kind of like charge around. I had to charge at and then kill them and then pile in. So I was only able to get like 2 guys on this objective. So he still held that from me. On his turn 3, the top of 3, he held, I believe, this objective still. So he was able to hold this objective to get another 5 points for primary. And then he had Aerial Denial, which he really wasn't going to get because he didn't want to give up Magnus or another unit in the center for nothing. And then he had Bring It Down. So he basically went after Sile, who deep struck down here on my turn 2, and then made that 9-inch charge. He wasn't able to kill the whole unit. So in his turn, he was able to fight back, do some damage, and then shoot him in combat because he's a monster. So the guys outside shot him, took him down, killed him, which got Bring It Down for 3 points. He then got back up on a 2+ and just kind of chilled there until my turn. So he was able to move up and finish off that unit. So he got 3 points for the Bring It Down. Then our turn 3, we actually had 10 points on turn 2 because we held these 2. And then on turn 3, we got another 10 points because we held these 2 again. But then on our mission, we picked Engage in All Fronts, which we were able to get Sile back there. We brought in a unit of Nurglings in this back corner. We had the Nurglings in this corner, and then we had the Bikes in this corner. So we basically had all the corners, so that was an easy 5 points. And then Secure No Man's Land was pretty easy for us because we held almost all 3 objectives by turn 3. So this is where it started going downhill. He started backpedaling and going into his deployment zone, which again, it's really tough. Like with this list, once they kind of like take over the board, it's really hard to push through all of that, especially with a 4-up invuln save and Feel No Pain. We had the 4-up invuln save from Abaddon behind this wall on the red squad, and then tied back with the green squad within 6 inches. We had 4-up Feel No Pain on all of these guys. So with the amount of firepower that they have, which is a lot, it still wasn't enough to chew through a unit every turn. You have to focus down all of your shots into one unit, and if you can follow up with a charge, that's the easiest way to kill the Accursed Cultist unit in a turn. If you just kind of shoot them from afar and then don't follow up with charges, they can then just run away, make guys, and have them for late game, which is usually what happens. And then this unit kind of took over the right flank because of these guys moving back this way. We now have this objective as well. So Magnus doesn't want to get tied down in combat either. So I've fought him before in combat with the Accursed Cultist, and he kills a couple, but it's just not enough to whittle down the whole unit in combat. And he can't shoot any blast weapons in combat as well. So on turn 4 is when we started to stop primary because he wasn't able to hold any of the center objectives anymore. We wound up actually burning this left one because I didn't need to focus on this anymore. So we walked up and started to burn it with, I believe, this cultist unit. They are Nurgle, so he has to be within 12 inches to shoot it if I want to spend 1 CP and protect them because they are trying to burn it. So if I burn this, I don't have to worry about that objective. I only have to worry about these two for the rest of the game. So my army can start moving towards his side of the table. So he gets 0 for primary. He picks up, again, aerial denial. I think he kept it and then didn't get it as well. And then on our turn, 4, we get 10 again for holding these two objectives. We finish up with no prisoners for 2 points. We weren't able to kill really a lot left because most of the damage was already done. This is basically the end of that charge phase. His guys are able to kill all of the red guys. The red guys were back here. All of the green guys he was able to kill. And then the red guys lived, so they just started making dudes behind this little cover right here. Sile finishes off those guys. We have a Nurgle unit come down over there. But the red unit, I think 2 or 3 lived. So in my command phase, I made 3 little guys. His command phase, I made 3 little guys. My command phase, I made some guys. They just keep making dudes behind this little wall right here, which is just crazy. Yellow units, pretty intact. All the big guys are still fighting. This undivided Forge Fiend is just launching shots in this zone right here. Like this line of sight right here is insane on this setup. And this is the Games Workshop setup. So if you bring a Forge Fiend on this side, you have this true path line of sight over here, and then the other Forge Fiend can kind of help out on this side. That's a huge kill shot right here. 36 inches gets me all the way to basically that objective. So I can kill a 5-man unit pretty easily, or if he had a 10-man unit, that unit would just get mowed down with the undivided Forge Fiend. So we just killed off a 5-man unit pretty easily. The Nurglings are just waiting. The bikes actually came in over here. At the end of his turn, bikes came off the table. On my turn, they came back in on the table on his deployment zone, and then they just unloaded all the plasma shots into the character over here, which then killed the character because we overcharged. I think I killed 2 of my guys in the process, and we dark packed it, exploding on 5s with Nurgle. So the Nurgle bikes with all plasma is honestly scary. Late game, killing some people, that's not really expected. And then these guys, again, just move up, advance, and just finish off this 5-man unit. So all he has left, really, is Magnus and these guys, which aren't really going to kill a whole squad of Accursed Cultists. So we have to figure out if he can get any secondary points. So at the end of the turn, he gets capture enemy outpost, which you can see I kind of got rid of this. Like, there's nothing there. I still own it. But all he had to do was kind of move up Magnus, which he did, and then move up Magnus again, which he got onto this objective. So he did get 8 points for capturing my enemy outpost, which I think Abaddon then starts coming down to fight him. So this is this view, and then this view. We got Cultists back here, Forge Fiend, Nurglings, all that stuff. Abaddon is right there. We tag Magnus. And then right here, Magnus fell back or got to my objective, which got him the 8 points, and then deployed teleport homers. He also did with Magnus. So Magnus actually at the end of the game got 13 points for Nolan, which Abaddon then just ran up and went to go be there in case I needed to kill him, which we did happen to get assassinate on turn 5. So I think we talked that out. I don't think we actually killed him. So this is the end of the game. I could have walked the Forge Fiend over here, the other Forge Fiend over here, and then we would have had Forge Fiend shot into Magnus, Forge Fiend shot into Magnus, Abaddon move up, charge Magnus, the yellow squad move up, potentially charge Magnus, because we did start making guys over here. So we would have had Abaddon in combat, yellow guys in combat, 2 Forge Fiend shots, 1 completely full rerolls to hit and wound with the undivided one. And I think the 1 bike would have then eventually came back on, shot 2 more plasmas into Magnus. So just a ton of shots trying to kill Magnus last turn, which we think that we could have got him. So he gave me 5 points for assassinate, and then overwhelming force, killing this guy off the objective, which would have got me 3 as well. So this is the end of the game. We still had pretty much a full unit of yellow. The 1 green character dude is alive with 2 wounds. The red unit was behind this wall on the objective, just camping it, didn't really need to do anything. 2 cultist units, I guess, are still alive. They're just chilling. Both Forge Fiends are still alive. 1 bike and 1, 2, 3 Nurgles with Sile. So we still had, honestly, a lot left. It was a very, very bloody turn 3 or turn 2 when we committed. So in this turn, when we have just everything on the table, we basically committed. He then pushed up and finished off the green squad and a lot of the red squad, but the yellow squad wasn't touched. So Forge Fiend wasn't touched, this Forge Fiend wasn't touched, and the yellow squad. So that's when we just pushed in, shot with Forge Fiend, killed a unit, shot with Forge Fiend, killed a unit, charged and killed 2 unit with the yellow squad. And that turn right there is really what swung it in our advantage. These guys, the big dudes, D6 plus 2, rerolling 1s because of undivided, or 1 CP, full rerolls to hit, full rerolls to wound, exploding 6s. Strength 5, so wounding most Marines on 3s. AP 1, so you have a 4-up save with 2 damage. So they are Marine killers all the way. So really brutal game. Thanks Nolan for the game. Always a good time. He's a really good tournament player in the scene. Basically places top 3 almost every single tournament, goes all the GTs. So really good player. If you guys want to watch the stream game, I actually might post that. It's a lot. Yeah, I'll post that in the description below so you guys can actually watch the full game if you want to check that out. But let me know in the comments below what you like about this type of setup. I do these for quick battle reports so you guys don't have to watch the full game. And then also this one over here, if you like this little thing, this is the final score right here. So let me pull this up for you. All right, so this is the final score, 95-43 with Chaos Space Marine, and these are the final matchups. So if you guys want to pause and check that out. But Scourge is a tough one to do. If you can have a really tanky unit sit on objective turn 2 and try burn it as soon as possible, that would be my suggestion. But also if you burn it, you lose out on secondaries as well. So if there's like a secondary where you have to control something or do cleanse, you have to think about, all right, if I burn this, do I need it later in the game? So that's tricky to really figure out, because if you burn the whole left side, you only have to fight on the right side. But with us, it was fine because we had a unit coming in on the right side to try and take this objective out while we were burning. So that helped out on us. But if you don't have this unit coming in, you're kind of only fighting for the center objective. And if he has most of his army on this objective, that's gonna be a tough game. So, and also getting fire lanes with the Forge Fiends, having kind of like a V thing so that we can get both angles onto something so we can't hide either way. Or if you bring a Forge Fiend from reserves, let's say this one started on the table. Sorry, the one over there started on the table to the right over here. So this one over here started on the table. And then if I would have brought the other one in over here, then I would have had both angles going like directly parallel. So you can get angles going this way. You can get angles going this way. So that's the Forge Fiend angles. Magnus, we just ignored him. We don't really have to. He kills a lot, but he doesn't kill enough to really pose a threat. And Abaddon was just waiting there. So if he brought him anywhere near Abaddon is just going to kind of slingshot himself into Magnus. So Magnus couldn't get on my side of the table just because of Abaddon. So that was a big thing. The difference that he's bringing in is he's actually going to take out the -2 or have charging and change it to something else. that was his biggest thing. I'm going to try and get another game with Nolan with similar lists with T-Suns, because T-Suns are very good, especially in the competitive scene. So there's going to be another battle report coming up. These videos actually come out first on patreon.com, but we're going to start doing live games. Every Monday night we stream live, but we're going to be recording the live game and posting that specifically solely on patreon.com. So Patreons are going to get access to live games, especially games that Grandmasters want to see personally. So if you guys are Grandmaster Patreon, you get to have me play your list or something similar, so that way you guys get to see how it's played live. And if you guys are competitive dirtbags, you guys get to give suggestions on some videos that you might want to see. Grandmasters, like every Monday Night Gaming, you're going to be able to see that live. But also you get to see something specific. I think once a month we have it set up where we can either do a live game for you guys or do a TTS game or something like that if you guys are Grandmaster Dirtbags. So appreciate all my Patreons. A lot of stuff is coming up for 2024. So let me know in the comments below what you want to see, what you like, what you didn't like, how we can improve. Hopefully this mic is good for you guys, but I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed the game. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video soon. What's up, gents? Welcome to the Dirtbag Nation Patreon page. This is going to be support to the Dirtbag Nation. Just to give you a little insight on what we're trying to do and trying to grow into, we're trying to grow a brand name of the Dirtbag Nation, 40k Dirtbags, going all over the country and coaching people to get better at the game of 40k. We have really good coaching over at the Dirtbag Nation. Myself is ranked #1 for Grey Knights in the world last year in 9th edition. This year, we're currently ranked #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world on ITC 40k rankings. So we have a lot of experience over at the channel, and a lot of the coaches are going to start joining in and joining the Dirtbag Nation to help you guys get better at 40k. If you guys are new to the Patreon page, we have a couple different tiers. The first tier is the $1 tier. That's basically just coming over, supporting us for $1 a month. You get first access to the Dirtbag videos up on Patreon. The next tier is a $5 tier. Basically, you get first access as well as just have a little bit more branding with the Patreon Discord page. And you want to support us a little bit more than $1 a month. I really appreciate both of you guys. The $10 tier is the competitive Dirtbag page. That's where we get more into the tactics, one-on-one coaching on the Discord. And if you guys have any questions, comments, list ideas, tactics, or game questions, you guys get to message us one-on-one through Discord. Make sure you take advantage of that, because it's completely up to you to ask me any questions you possibly need in the 40k community. Finally, we have the Grandmaster Dirtbag. That Dirtbag is above and beyond. They come out and they basically want us to coach them one-on-one with calls on via Discord, TTS games, battle reports, or any tactical videos that you guys want suggestions to. You guys will get first access to, and we actually play live games for you guys, or go over battle reports for our Grandmasters. Anything armies that you want to see specifically on the tabletop, that's the Grandmaster Dirtbag page. So it's just an explanation on what the different tiers are for Patreon. But again, thank you so much for the support. If you guys are thinking about it, you do have really good coaching. We drink beers, we have fun, we just kind of chill out and teach you guys how to have fun at 40k, unlike some other people on YouTube. But have fun at 40k, be good, win some games, more than you're averagely winning over there all over the world. And if you guys really just want to support the channel, we have our $1 and $5 a month as well. There's all the stickers and dice available to you guys at a discount, and you have your own Patreon tab in Discord that nobody else has access to besides you guys. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support. We're going to grow Dirtbag Nation as much as we possibly can in 2024 and get it all thanks to you guys. Appreciate it.